This is the 2026 Nissan Pathfinder. Did Nissan make the right changes? Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. We're at Orr Nissan in Shreveport, Louisiana for today's video on this SL trim level of the Pathfinder. We're going to tell you what's changed with the refresh that has come for the 2026 model year. If you want to know more about this model or anything else they have in inventory, check out the link down in the description of the video. One of the changes we're going to see is the front fascia, which is going to include a more squared off look. Seems to be the common thing among mid-size SUVs in this day and age, but you're going to have a little bit more of a squared off look here. We're going to have our lower grille right here and the gloss black upper grille. Now I like that the gloss black is way up here. That's not as likely to get all the rocks and junk in a lot of cases that you will down here with the matte finish. That conceals some of the damage away that you would see normally on a gloss finish, so that's a good thing. We're going to have our LED headlights and LED daytime running lights. Now this model doesn't have LED fog lights or any kind of fog lights for that matter, so you'll have to tell me what you think about that. And as we work our way around, we're going to have all-wheel drive with this particular model, and here are the 20-inch wheels. I'm very curious to know what you think about these wheels. Personally, I think this is a nice design, but I know there's going to be people out there that are going to say they do or they don't. Maybe there's a neutral ground on that. Don't really care. I don't know. But the fact that we had the matte finish on the fender surrounded all the way around the vehicle with this lower portion area, I think that works well. It looks right. With the side view mirrors, we're going to have almost everything you want. They're going to be heated, power adjustable. The turn signal indicators are built in and you have blind spot monitoring, but they're going to be manually folding. That's the only thing missing is power folding. There's your blind spot monitoring indicator right there, so we can show you that in the video just so you can see that it's there. And let me pull the remote out. You're going to have remote start, lock, unlock. You can open and close your power tailgate. You also have your panic button down there. All of that is going to be here. And you also have your passive entry button here on the front and rear doors. I like that. That works out pretty well. As you can see, it's also here on the rear doors. And what that does is that allows you to come and lock and unlock all four doors, front and rear, from the rear doors or the front doors. That's beneficial to the parents out there especially. We're going to have the roof rails up top with this model and the crossbars already installed, so you're already set for that additional cargo capacity that I know a lot of you like to have. We're going to have the panoramic sunroof. We'll give you an interior view of that in just a little bit. And we're going to have the, I think, appropriately placed trim piece right here that just kind of breaks things up a little bit as we work our way to our back window. And we're going to have the rear roof spoiler. Once again, LED lighting with the LED tail lights. Going to have that Nissan badge right here and the Pathfinder badge. Exposed rear window wiper. I don't think that's a bad thing. It works. And here's something that's really good here. If you're looking to tow a little bit extra in the mid-size segment, mid-size SUV segment, this is what you want, because your max towing capacity is 6,000 pounds as opposed to most competitors' 5,000 pounds. And while we have all the changes with the headlights and the front fascia and everything here, and also the rear back there that we showed you earlier, one thing that has not changed that I know some people predicted would change, you still have the 3.5 liter V6 under the hood. Did not go to a 4-cylinder, that's good news. So you're still going to have 284 horsepower and 259 pounds-feet of torque. That will be mated to a 9-speed automatic transmission. Now on this all-wheel drive model, we're going to work our way over here to the window sticker and show you the MPGs, at least the potential MPGs. These are not guaranteed, but here's what we're looking at. 21 city, 26 highway, 23 combined, and 4.3 gallons of gas per every 100 miles driven. We're going to work our way around over here to the other side. By the way, you do have a little bit of a reworked rear fascia. I know we didn't talk about that, but that's going to have some changes back here as well as far as the overall design goes. Nothing major, but it is here. Now, let's talk about the gas tank details. It's 18.5 gallons, and on this all-wheel drive model, we're looking at 370 miles of potential driving capacity in the city on a full tank and 460 miles out on the highway. You're going to find your power tailgate here. I'm going to push the button on there. There's a button on the remote, the button here on the tailgate, and a button on the interior where you can open that. And to maximize your cargo space, obviously you're going to need to fold down your middle row seats, which you'll have to do in that area with the release on the seats themselves. And then we use the release here on the back seats to fold these down. and we're looking at 16.6 cubic feet up to 80.5 cubic feet as far as your cargo capacity goes. Something else that's going to be very beneficial here is that underneath the rear of the vehicle is a spare tire. We're going to have our 12-volt power outlet right here. That's going to help you out when you need to power something. And underneath the carpet right here is going to be a little bit more storage space. We can get a quick look at the panoramic sunroof with the power shade drawn forward. We'll show it to you in just a second with it open. Let's talk about what your second and third row passengers are going to find. First of all, there's the panoramic sunroof I was telling you about earlier. That front portion will tilt and slide open if you want to do that. And with your door panel here, we're going to find quite a few different things to talk about. Number one, you've got the manual shade that can be put in place if you want to do that. We're going to have a couple of cup holders here in the very top. That's incorporated with the armrest, and then we're going to have the nice large door bin underneath. You could put a couple of large bottles in there or whatever else will fit. Now, when it comes to these seats themselves, these seats can move back and forth quite a bit. That's nice to have. There is a button on the side that will allow the seat to move up and out of the way to gain access to the third row. I'm going to push that up just a little bit right there. That's going to help me out. And we're going to hop into the back seat. Let's see here how I fit back here. Now, the seat on the passenger side here is up pretty far. I have a decent amount of leg room, although I wish I could stretch my legs out a little bit more, but that's just the way it is. Not a big deal necessarily, but that's the situation. We're going to have our roof-mounted air conditioning vents right here. And down here, we'll find a USB port. You just move that little cover out of the way. There's your USB port. Couple of cup holders right there that can also be used as an armrest. That's going to be the same on both sides. Plenty of room, I'd say, overall. The only thing that's missing for me is I wish I could stretch my legs out a little bit more, but you know what? The adults can definitely fit back here. It depends on who's sitting in the middle row seats. If they can move them forward a little bit, that works. The seat would be about right here if it were all the way back. Now, on the back of the seat, if I need to get out using the same style of button that I did on the side to move it forward earlier to get back here, there is a button right there you can see on the back of the seat. That way, if the middle seat passengers hop out and forget about you, you still have an easy way to get out. Okay, here we are in the second row. You can move the seats back and forth, and you can see you could actually move these seats up and be okay. I don't know who would really sit this far forward, but depending on where the front seats are positioned, they can be moved up quite a bit to help you rear seat passengers out with leg space. We're going to have our little center console area right here, a couple of cup holders, and some space back here for storage if needed. And then we're going to once again have those roof-mounted air conditioning vents. You know, if you watch me regularly, that I like those. They're going to be right up here. And there you go. Now you can see those roof-mounted air conditioning vents. Now we move down to the command center for the third zone of climate control. You're going to have everything back here for your climate control. We can turn everything on as far as the heated seats for these middle row seats, and you can adjust everything for fan speed and all that good stuff. That's going to be there. We also have our USB ports right down here. That's going to be helpful. And then as far as storage goes, on the rear of the seats, a couple of seat pockets. The sticker price is $51,100 for those who want to know. Let's see what else you get for that price. We'll start with our upper console. We're going to have our sunglass holder right there. Obviously, you have your lights right here. You can see some of our buttons here for turning the lights on and things like that. And then your SOS is right there, kind of neatly concealed away. And then everything for opening and closing the power sunroof and the power shade, all of that's going to be there. You'll also have your auto dimming rear view mirror, and underneath that will be your home link buttons. If you need to take advantage of that, you can program your garage doors into that. Now we're going to go to the passenger side, show you the glove box, a little bit of space inside of there. And there's a little bit of space above that area. Not a lot, but a little bit, fairly deep in there. And as far as the door panel goes, a nice amount of space with the armrest and the door bin. That's going to do you pretty well as far as that goes. And now we'll move over here to the driver's side and take a look at what we have. Now we're going to see some changes throughout the interior with stitching and with some of the materials are a little bit softer as far as the materials go here. Nothing major going on where that's concerned, but we will find everything here for controlling your power windows, a lock and unlock for your doors. You're going to have your one touchdown one touch up windows at all 4 doors. That's nice to have. Pro Pilot Assist, you can turn that on right there. Obviously, you can open and close your power tailgate there. And then right here, drop that release, and we're going to adjust the tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel, which is, by the way, heated. We're going to have our shifter paddles on the back of the steering wheel for the 9-speed automatic transmission, and all of your steering wheel mounted controls will be here. We'll also find our controls for our lights right here. You can just leave that on auto if you want to. Now, you can't leave the turn signal indicators on auto. You still have to use the lever for that. I know that's a lot of work for people, but that's the situation with that. There's turn signal schools if you want to learn how to use them that you can attend. Front and rear window wiper control right there. I can't say anything funny or sarcastic about that. And your driver's display. A nice modern look. You've got the likeness of your Pathfinder right there on the display. And we can go through and see a few different things. If we need to go through that, we can use the scroll wheel right here. As you can see, all I'm doing is scrolling through. Now, you'll have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto on more trim levels, and obviously it's a very nice screen to use. I don't think it's overly complicated. It seems to work quite well. When I go into reverse, I can bring up the cameras. There are multiple views all over this Pathfinder. You can see your overhead view. If you want to take advantage of that, we can go right there and see our different views, just like that, depending on what we need to see. We'll come back out of that, and if you want to go home, you can hit home right there, but let's take a look at a couple more things here just so you can see. You also have the front view. There's your front view. So if you need to see that front view, it is there. And here is something that I also like that makes it a little bit easier to see without having the hood get in the way. It basically makes the hood invisible. You can't see the hood or the engine. That helps improve your visibility a little bit depending on your surroundings and what you need to see. You can also come right here and look around the vehicle with everything as far as your surroundings go, and we can take a different view depending on where we need to see. We can go right here just like this and see all the way around from literally every angle, whether it's front, rear, left, side, whatever it is you want to see, you can do that. Then we can come back out of that. You can even see when a vehicle drives by. It's giving you a live view right there. But overall, a pretty simplistic system to use. I like that. Now, if you want to see all of your different icons here as far as the different options and functions go, all you do is touch the 4 squares right there that I did, and here's where you're going to end up. And you can see what all you have here as far as that goes. Depending on what you need to do with your settings, you can come in right here. Takes a few seconds, as you can see, to come up, but you can see the different settings that are here. You can go in there and do whatever it is you need to do. And you'll find a few different things down here in this area, including the button to turn on your hazard lights. You can go back and forth between what you're listening to, turn the audio on and off, the radio on and off, and adjust the volume. You can also push this button, and that will bring the cameras up on the center screen, as you can see right there. And if you push that again, here's what's going to happen. It's going to bring up that front view right there. And another view for you just to show you what all is here. Every time you touch that button, that's what is going to happen. And then we come back out of that screen. Now, we only have heated seats, no ventilated seats in this particular case, but you have 3 stages of heated seats. Your dual zone climate control is here, and all of your different controls for controlling the air conditioning. Now, and here's your wireless charging pad. Now, there is a little plastic piece on that. You're going to peel that off, or somebody at the dealership might do that for you. And we have a 12-volt power outlet, and as you can see, a couple of USB ports. The shifter right here fits nicely in the palm of your hand. You just push the button on the side, and then you can go into drive or whatever you need to do as far as that goes. We push the P for park right there, and then we're going to have everything here for a power parking brake. We're going to have our brake hold mode, and then we have the idle stop or auto stop start system as we often know it, that you can turn on and off right there. And here's your drive mode selector. Depending on what you want to do, you can get your different driving modes. We're going to look at that up here on the screen real quick. Take the camera real fast so I can show you that, just to show you what all is here. So we're going to run through all of our different driving modes. We're going to have, as you can see, sand, mud and ruts, snow, you've got auto, and then you have eco, sport, and tow. Depending on what you want to do, that's going to take care of that for you. And then we come back down here, a little bit of storage space in front of the cup holders right here. You can see your cup holders. And then we're going to also have the Pathfinder logo right here. And there is one other place right here under this air conditioning vents. The Pathfinder logo will be stamped right here. And then we'll go down here to our center console. As you can see, quite a bit of space within. Okay, here we go on our test drive with the Nissan Pathfinder. You won't find major changes as far as the ride quality goes or anything like that. You're still going to have a nice ride quality. It is nice that you still have that 3.5 liter V6 under the hood. So that means we're going to have that for a few years to come. It's a shame that so many automakers are now going to 4 cylinders, even with their full-size SUVs, as opposed to a 6-cylinder engine. But we do still have that here. That's going to work just fine. The ride quality is good, and the seats themselves are nice and comfortable. How about the ride quality back there? Is it good back there?
Very good.
Very good. Got my cameraman sitting in the back seat so we can give you a little bit of it.
Taking a nap.
He's taking a nap back there. He's going to go to sleep on me for this short test drive. Wish I could go to sleep that fast. At least not when I'm driving, but other times. But it works well. One thing about having the comfortable ride quality is you are going to experience a little bit more body roll in a lot of cases, just like we're going to have here. Not a big deal. This is not meant to be a high performance vehicle by any means, but that's part of what gives you that comfortable ride quality. You don't have a rigid suspension or anything along those lines. So this is going to do the job for you just fine as far as that goes. It's easy to see out of. And in my personal opinion, the technology here is not difficult to learn or use. Now for a 4-wheel drive SUV, that's what we're going to have here, is the fact that it has a nice turning radius, nice tight turning radius that you just saw right there. So for a midsize SUV, I think it does nicely as far as that goes. And you have a lot of adjustability built into the driver's seat. Now the difference here in the front seat is that the driver's seat is power adjustable with lumbar support. The steering wheel is adjustable, so the driver can adjust things nicely and have absolutely no problem being positioned right where they need to be, whether they're 6 feet tall or 5 feet tall or something in between or a little bit over. The passenger seat is manually adjustable on this trim level, but depending on what trim level you go with, what your options are, you will have the power seats for the driver and the passenger. There's a lot more features available than what we have here, but overall, I would say this works very well. The gas pedal for me took a little bit of getting used to. Some of that is just from driving multiple vehicles so often you might hop in and say it's no problem. People like to know about that, so I like to share that information. The brake pedal, however, I can say is very easy to adjust to. It seems to be balanced quite nicely. It doesn't seem to be overly aggressive, and it also doesn't seem to be overly spongy. And there it is, the 2026 Nissan Pathfinder. Did Nissan make the right changes? Tell me down in the comments section what you think. I'd like to say a special thanks to my friends at Nissan for loaning us this Pathfinder for the day so we can tell you all about it. And a special thanks to all of you for being kind enough to give us the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like button. That's very helpful to us. Make sure to subscribe and share this video on your timelines on social media so other people can see it. And if you would like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and we'll see you there.